winter is coming. Yo, what's good everyone? Thank you for tuning in to today's video. If you're new around here, my name is Aidan, and in today's review we will be taking a look at my most recent pickup, which is actually perfect for this time of year. So with autumn already upon us and winter's fast approaching, in today's review we will be taking a look at the Air Jordan 3 Winterized. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and get straight into the video. So before we go ahead and actually get stuck into the video itself, just like we always do, let's just start off with the packaging. Now for this one, it is a little bit of a shake-up from what we have been seeing with the most recent Jordan 3 releases. Now for this one, we do have a very similar looking box, so it is still sectioned off. So we do have 3/4 of the box, which is done in like this pale grey colour, or like a... hard to describe exactly what colour it is. In this lighting, it's kind of giving off like a bluish tint, but it also looks kind of grey, so make of that what you will. And then in the centre of that, we do have this purplish, pinkish Jumpman. Hopefully that'll focus so you can see that. And then on this third of the box itself, we do have a more defined grey, which is normally actually reserved for the elephant print. If you've seen any of my other Jordan 3 reviews, all the other boxes seem to follow the exact same patterning. But with this being a little bit different, you know, just thought it was worth mentioning. If we then take a quick look at the label, which reads, we have the Air Jordan 3 Retro SE, which I do believe stands for Special Edition. Might not be, but, you know, let me know if you know. And this is in the Archaeo Brown DK Smoke Grey colourway, and this is a UK size 9, which is my personal size. If we then go ahead and actually open up the shoes itself, here we have the elephant print on the tissue paper, always very, very nice. And then underneath that, here we have the kicks. So let's go ahead and get straight into the shoes. So without any further ado, the moment we've all been waiting for, in hand we have the Air Jordan 3 Winterized. Now if you did see my review of the top 10 best releases for October, this shoe did actually make the cut, although I did say in that video that I didn't actually want them for the personal collection. Now there's a couple of reasons as to why that is and why I said that in that particular video, which we will actually get onto within the review itself. But because of the fact that these were so easily available, they were so readily accessible, I just couldn't not, and I just had to bring you guys a review and actually see the shoe in hand for myself, just to kind of decide whether or not maybe I judged them a little bit too harshly in the beginning, and just kind of, you know, see how I feel about it now I've got them in hand. Now this shoe is coming in at a slightly higher price point than your regular Jordan 3, so I feel like if you have stumbled across this video and you are new to the channel, I just want to stress to you guys that in this review I am going to be telling you everything that you need to know, from materials through to sizing, so by the end of this video you can decide for yourself whether or not this is something you'd like to add to your own personal collection as well. So just diving straight into this one, starting out with the upper to begin with, and even though this shoe is coming in at that higher price point of £200, I'm still sure that some people will be saying that this is actually good value, and the reason for that is we do have a very nice premium makeup on the upper of the shoe itself, which does actually include this nubuck leather as well as some suede and mesh detailing as well. So all in all, just from a material standpoint, this one could very much end up being one of the most high quality Air Jordan 3 releases of the entire year. So if we kick this one off from the front of the shoe and then just gradually work our way back, so at the base of the shoe, but also seen throughout the vast majority of the upper of the shoe itself, we do have this very nice, very soft to the touch nubuck leather done in this very nice brown colour. Around the toe box on the mudguard, we do have a really nice transition from nubuck to suede, as on the mudguard itself, we do have this very premium short haired suede, and the colour combination from the brown to this like pale pink colour, it's almost giving off Neapolitan vibes. I saw somebody actually say that on Twitter, and actually, as soon as he said it, I couldn't unsee it. Just that colour combo is working really well for me. And the overall material quality, I can't stress to you how good the quality of the material is on this shoe. Just in terms of how it looks, how it feels, and how it's structured. Again, like I was just saying, this could actually end up being one of the most high quality Jordan 3s that I have in my collection. My only concern is these are very delicate feeling materials, and I don't really feel like they're going to hold up to the British weather like Jordan Brand is expecting. Now they do say that this shoe is winterized, so I do feel like it is going to be reinforced, and I do feel like it's going to be waterproof to a certain extent. But with that in mind, even just from an aesthetics point of view, even if the water and the snow and all those other kind of elements don't actually seep into the shoe itself, cosmetically, I just don't feel like this is actually going to hold up very well to the British weather. So I would be very reluctant to actually wear these in rain, snow, sleet, and all those other things that we can expect in the colder months of the year itself. But if you are just looking for a high quality Jordan release, then I would definitely say that this is definitely one to consider. Maybe wait till they go on sale, because the price point is very expensive, and I feel like I can almost understand it based on the materials. But what I would say is if you are looking for that high quality, just very classy looking shoe, this is definitely one you should consider.
Shut up and take my money!
Now, something else that I do feel like is actually worth mentioning about these, like we've mentioned about other Jordan 3s as well, is the fact that this does feature that OG shape. Now, I'm sure this isn't the one-to-one exactly the same as what we saw back in 1988, but the overhaul of the toe box, just in terms of how it's more streamlined, it's a lot sleeker and it's a lot less boxy. It's still prevalent with this one. It looks exactly as beautiful as all the other Jordan 3s that we've seen this year, and it is definitely one of those things where we do got to give props to Jordan Brand for pretty much recrafting the toe box and redesigning it back to how it should be. So again, it is on this shoe, so if you do like that new OG shape, that just sounds weird, new OG, but you get what I'm trying to say. If you do like that OG look to the Jordan 3, this shoe has it as well, and in my opinion, just makes the shoe look absolutely incredible. Now, one of the most defining things about this shoe is the fact that they decided not to include elephant print. So wrapping around the toe box as well as wrapping around the heel, instead of the usual elephant print design, this shoe actually adopts this black suede material with this white stitching pattern. Now, the white stitching is actually very reminiscent to what we did see with the Anatomy of Air 95s, which we also did do a review on the channel for. Didn't really love it on them, and I definitely don't love it on these. Now, I'm very much a purist when it does come to Jordan 3s. I love the originals, I love the new colorways as well, but the thing about the Jordan 3 that I just love so much is the elephant print. Now, that was the reason in my October video I said that I didn't want these, and seeing them in hand, it really hasn't changed my opinion on it. I'm very much a case of, without the elephant print, it's just not the Jordan 3 and it's not the shoe that I love so much. Now, even though I've been raving about how good the quality of the materials are, and I fully stand by what I've just said, I'm still not loving the fact that this shoe doesn't have elephant print. Maybe it'll grow on me over time, but in the short term, if there was to be a deal breaker on this shoe, it would be the fact that there's no elephant print there. If you're not really that bothered about it, I don't think it'll be a big issue for you. I don't think it should be a deal breaker for you either. But if you love the Jordan 3 and you're like just a fan of it in general and you just love that elephant print, this is definitely something that you should consider before picking these up. Tea break. And then just to jump back into some more of the details, now at the bottom portion of the eye stays, we do have a nice pop of yellow. And again, we do see more of that yellow accent on the top TPU eye stays as well. In the middle of the laces, we then have more of that soft suede, just like what we saw with the mudguard. And as we then work our way onto the ankle collar, we do have this very nice water-resistant purple mesh, which definitely adds a really nice pop of colour for this shoe. But as we then work our way onto the heel of the shoe, this for me is actually one of my favourite features on the entire shoe, as the entire heel plate has been done using this very nice pre-aged sail colour. And then in the middle of the heel plate itself, we do get the Jumpman with the branding just underneath. I was actually a little bit surprised to see that we do actually get like this cardboard cutout, which is kind of like an insert which separates the heel plate from the ankle collar. I'm not sure why it's there. I'm not sure why they don't just include it with all Jordan 3s. Maybe there is something to behind it. I can't imagine they're just putting it in for the sake of putting it in. But maybe that means long term the colours are going to run from one to the other. So that also might be something that's worth bearing in mind. And then in terms of the lacing option for this one, we do also see some really nice pre-aged sail coloured hits on the laces. Again, matching up really nicely to what we see with the heel. So if you're thinking about a lace swap, personally, I'd love to see it, but I'm not going to do it myself. I think these laces are absolutely fine as they are. And then beneath the laces, just like what we saw with the ankle collar, we do see more of that waterproof mesh. Again, it does add a really nice pop of colour, something that this shoe definitely could do with. And then as we do work our way up to the top of the tongue, we do have a textile tongue at the very top. And then in the centre, we do have the black Jumpman with this almost purple or pinkish outline. Kind of reminiscent to what we saw with the dark iris as well, with the Jumpman with the outline there. Not sure if this is actually going to be the thing moving forward, or maybe they're just doing it for certain pairs to kind of test the water. I don't hate it. I do prefer the original and how it looks on like OG colourways and things like that. But just to mix it up every now and again, I'm definitely not, pressed by that. I think it is a really nice look. And as we then work our way even further inside the shoe, again, we do have more of those really nice purpley pink colours on the insole. And again, we do also have a Jumpman featured on there as well. But then just to close that in terms of the details, when it comes to the midsole, like what we saw with the laces and the heel plate, we do have more of those really nice sail coloured hits. Now the midsole itself has been constructed from a polyurethane material, and towards the heel we do have a visible air unit. I'm a little bit disappointed that it doesn't have like that purpley pink hit to it like what we see with the ankle collar, but that's kind of neither here nor there. And as we then work our way onto the outsole of the shoe, we do see that classic Air Jordan 3 outsole, done in that mostly all grey colour, with a slightly darker, almost midnight navy colour underneath the forefoot. We then have some more pre-aged sail coloured hits just underneath the heel, and then we do also see that Jordan branding featured on there as well. Very, very nice. So at this stage in the video, you might actually be asking yourself, how does this shoe fit? When it comes to sizing, I'm just going to suggest you go with your natural true to size fit in whatever you would typically wear with Jordan 3s. If you never owned a pair before, as I was saying a little bit earlier earlier on, fortunately enough, these are sitting at most retailers. So if you can go ahead and actually try a pair before buying, for obvious reasons, that'll be your best bet. But if you actually are ordering these online, again, just to reiterate, going true to size is definitely going to be my suggestion. And then outside of that, we've covered everything that you need to know from materials through to sizing. So if we now just go ahead and wrap up this video. So just to wrap up this video so you guys can get out of here, in terms of my overall opinion on the shoe itself, to give these a rating, at best it's probably a 7 out of 10 for me. Now if this shoe did have the elephant print, it could easily be an 8, an 8.5, or even a 9, because the quality of the materials on this shoe are absolutely no joke. I'm not really sure I can stress to you how nice the overall quality and the overall construction of this shoe actually is. I do stand by the statement that this could actually end up being one of the most high quality Jordan 3 releases of the year. Just from a material standpoint, maybe not a colorway, that always comes down to preference, but nobody can argue that the quality of the materials is what it is. It's just a really well put together shoe. But because of the fact that it doesn't have elephant print, like I was saying a little bit earlier on, that is very much the deal breaker for me. And that's very much making me feel like I don't actually want to keep these in the collection long term. In the short term, I'm going to keep them around, see what happens, see if it grows on me. Although, you know, I highly doubt that it will, because I just love the elephant print so much. So that's pretty much all I have to really say about it. I'd love to get your guys' opinion on it as well. So let me know what you guys think of my rating. Let me know what your rating is as well. And also let me know what you think about the fact that they took off the elephant print. Leave all of that in the comment section down below. And if you have stuck around to this point in the video, as always, I just want to say a massive thank you. If you haven't already, please feel free to smash that subscribe button. Also, do make sure the bell notification is switched on so you never miss a video. And I hope to see you all again in the next one. Peace!